What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday today. There's a big sale going on today. I'll tell you about that. As you may or may not have heard, Plus Token, which is one of the biggest scams in the entire industry, has now moved almost 180,000 Ethereum, worth something like $189 million. And usually when a scam like this moves tokens like this, they're trying to sell them. So we could be in for a big Ethereum dump coming soon, but that's good news. I'll tell you why. Just stay tuned. Also, if you want to, okay, so another thing I'm going to talk about this video is how to architect your life. In a way, I'm just going to touch on that because I'm going to go into more detail on that in some upcoming videos. But what's really important here is that you have an opportunity to make incredible wealth in this short amount of time. The only opportunity you've ever had to do something like this, right? And so I'm going to tell you how to do that, and also, you know, what to do after you've accumulated this wealth and what you can do with it, right? So stay tuned. I'm going to show you guys how to make 4,500 or 45x returns in the next couple of years. Okay, listen up. So one of the things that I don't know what it was that inspired me as a teen to kind of create my own life. I knew that I would never want to get a 9-to-5 job and work for somebody else, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So what did I do? I learned everything I could, figured out how to kind of architect my own life, made some good decisions, and moved out of the States. I live here now in Thailand. Just walking down 1 minute from my house. That's not my house right now, right there, but it's right behind it. And yeah, so walking down this beautiful beach that I live right in front of. And yeah, to tell you guys beautiful news today. So, Plus Token, one of the largest scams in crypto history that racked up billions of dollars from people trying to get rich quick. And you know, mostly I think a lot of this happened in China, but you know, anyway, so these guys, they amassed a ton of tokens and, you know, have been selling them off. I think a lot of them were sold through like OKX and Huobi, and but now they're trying to move a bunch. They just moved, I think, $60 million in EOS recently, and now the next move they're trying to make is to get rid of almost $200 million in Ethereum, right? So right now we already saw downward pressure on Ethereum, and DeFi has also, like most stocks, most stocks. That is embarrassing. Wow, I don't even like stocks. Okay, so whoa, look at this dead frog. This is crazy weird. Speaking of frogs, actually, see this on my arm over here? It's this little, right there, see that? That's kind of diamond pattern. So I did Cambo last week, which was a very great experience. Basically what Cambo is the poison of a frog, sapo, from the Amazon area, and for hundreds if not thousands of years people have been using this to cure all kinds of sickness and detox and things like that. And you know, I felt like I could really use it and feel really good after doing it. So I highly recommend doing that. It's a good experience. It's a brutal experience. I mean, you are just puking, and it just is not a very great feeling experience. But anyway, so yeah, I recommend doing that. Okay, so what is important to like, okay, so we have a tremendous opportunity right now, right? So Ethereum should never be as low as it is right now. I mean, it is almost $200, right? And I expect it to fall, potentially to about 200. We see tremendous support, as I'll show you in this chart, at the $200 level, right? So I don't expect it to move much past that, but even it doesn't really matter, right? And I'll tell you why. Because whether it's $200 or $220 where it currently sits right now, some experts in the space expect Ethereum to go up to $9,000 in the next bull run, right? And that is a 41 times returns at the current price of 220 or 45 at 200, right? So just to give you some ideas, like a $10,000 investment turns into $41,000 or $45,000 respectively. Oh, sorry. $410,000 and $450,000 respectively, right? That is a nice amount. There's nothing else in this world, in our lifetime, that has ever enabled, or probably ever will enable, us to make this type of returns. And you have an opportunity to do it. You do. I am, very, very much a Bitcoin bull, right? But Ethereum is something that is undeniably a machine. There's hundreds of institutions that are using it. There are enterprises, DeFi apps. DeFi is going crazy. Ethereum is something that, and now with Ethereum 2.0, people are going to be locking up their tokens, right? Because you can start to earn passive income just from getting your Ethereum, locking them up, and start returning, 6 to 10% a year extra Ethereum just for saving the ones that you already were going to invest in, right? So this is pretty tremendous. To give you another example of how much this returns is, if you put $100,000, I know that's like beyond the scope of reality for a lot, but that would turn into $4.1 million and $4.5 billion respectively. And I'm talking about this happening in the next 2 years. Let that sink in for a minute, right? So, and then some people might be sitting there thinking, that's crazy. A $9,000 Ethereum, is it crazy though? People thought if I would have told you in 2017, in the beginning of the year, that $2 was going to turn into $1,500, you might have thought that was incredible too, or crazy, or ludicrous, or whatever. So if you look at all-time highs to new all-time highs from the bull run, when we talk about Bitcoin, it was $20,000 all-time high, and on the low end, people are thinking the next bull run it'll go to $100,000, right? And this is the low end of the spectrum. So that's a 5x, right? And so for us to expect, and on the high end of that, we expect, Bitcoin to go to maybe something like I'm thinking of like $330,000. It's my kind of number that I'm thinking about, right? So that, I don't even know what that is. That is like, if that's like a 15x. So from Ethereum to go from 1,500 to 9,000, 6x. That is easy, right? And that is something that is logical, especially with all the upgrades that have been happening to Ethereum and the demand for the token from staking, from enterprise, from dApps, from DeFi, things like that. So I fully expect that to be possible, right? I don't think it's out of realm of possibility at all. So one of my favorite trees in Thailand is this ficus tree that you see right behind me. They're so cool. We have lots of coconut trees, palm trees, which are beautiful. But when you're out and you look at these beautiful trees, these ficus trees, like they just make such a dramatic look on the landscape. It's really impressive. Beautiful trees. the water today. Okay, and last thing I want to talk about today is we have a big sale right now on DeFi, right? And so let me just tell you some of the most popular. Let me get out my little note paper here. So let me just tell you today what I just checked like half an hour ago. Let me just tell you what some of the most popular DeFi and some other type of decentralized coins have gone down in the past 24 hours. So ETH down 5%, Balancer down 11.5%, Reserve RSR down 18%, Unibright down 14.5%, Beam down 10.5%, IDEX down 4.7%, Ren 10.5% down, Thor chain down 10.5%, Swissborg was 11.3%, and then it just shot back up. Now it's down 5%. Compound down 8.5%, and Loopring is down 10%. So you have altcoin sale today, right? And so some of you who have been, felt like you're missing out on the DeFi hype chain, or have been FOMO, like discounted today, right? And I really want to do a video soon too, talking about my favorite, where I'm placing some bets, right? Some of my favorite tokens, and I mentioned some of them right now. Not all of them I'm extremely interested in, but a lot of those I am. But I'll go into a more depth on another video. I really want to do like my altcoin picks for 2020 and 21. So now what I want to do is I want to tell you a little story, right? So I got into Bitcoin in 2012, and Ethereum, not immediately at the ICO, because I thought it was a scam. But I got in, shortly thereafter. I was selling some Bitcoin on local Bitcoins, and this is like 2014 or 15. I don't remember, 15, I guess. I don't remember. And some guy urgently, came to meet up with me in Los Angeles, and he said that he needed to buy Bitcoin in order to buy Ethereum. And he told me what he was doing with it, and it really opened my eyes. And so anyway, I listened to what he said, took it to heart, and then bought some Ethereum. And so anyway, I had a goal when I was younger, when I really wanted to, I knew that, like, it's true that, right, money can't buy happiness, but it can buy or allow you financial freedom. And my definition of financial freedom is like being able to do what you want, when you want, without having to worry about how much it's going to cost. It's a nice luxury to have. And when I achieved that in the beginning of 2016, I had been working my ass off, and I was burnt out and tired, and so I decided to take some time off, and I could retire at that point, and I guess I kind of did at that time. And I had done some stuff in the crypto space too. I built World Super Lotto, and was CEO of a project called Credits. And retirement is not the life for me. And maybe it is for you. Maybe that's all you want to do, and maybe that's what you think right now. Maybe you just want to make some money and then not have to worry about anything ever again, and just come to a beach like this and just do nothing, right? But I'll tell you that it feels a lot better to give back and focus on once you have taken care of yourself. I think it's very important to figure out how to take care of yourself first, and after that then focus on how you can give back. So I would love for all of you guys to become financially free, and then focus on you know, what you're going to do to give back to the world and help other people. You know, that's really important. These dogs. So I'm going to make a video series about how to architect your life, create the life that you want to live, be a digital nomad if you want to, like myself and so many others that come to beautiful places like this and get to live and work where they would otherwise want to retire. And so I want you guys to stay tuned for that, get excited. So I've got some cool ideas coming up. You know, one is to architect your own life. Other ones are like, you know, investment advice and altcoin picks. Also, if you ever want to check out, you know, my investment history, not in coins, but in equity in the space, you can go to my website, which is masterventures.io, and click on your portfolio section. And those are my investments there, like full transparency. And yeah, guys, anyway, thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful. Happy Sunday, happy altcoin and DeFi sale day, and get ready to make some serious returns.